Geeks and Gamers, Matt Lemke here with 3Gamer Goggles, and we're at Origins Game Fair 2015. Yes! I still got it right. Last year at Gen Con, I was here.
You were here at Gen Con?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I was
Do you have wormhole technology? Did you build a Stargate?
I might be related to Doctor Who. But I don't need a TARDIS, people, so beware. At least I tried making people think I was here. Because I always...
When you were at Gen Con?
4 interviews.
It is that awesome here at Origins.
It's a pretty good show this year.
It is a pretty good show this year.
There's a lot of cool things going on, so if you aren't here and you haven't been here in a while...
Then we miss
you.
You
should come back.
You should.
But I'm with Julie Ahern from Greenbrier Games, the maker of Zpocalypse, Heavy Steam, recent Kickstarter Yashima, which will be available in the near future.
At the other convention we keep talking about.
Ninja Dice. And I'm missing one game, aren't I?
Heavy Steam, Zpocalypse, Ninja Dice, Yashima.
There's one more, isn't there?
Oh, Hull Breach.
But that's not really yours. I thought there was one more game in the works. So maybe I'm...
Well, there are a couple more games in the works, but let's... Which is such a great segue.
Let's not get there yet. So, I guess we'll start with Zpocalypse, because you mentioned it, and cool things are happening.
Yes. It's been a while. It's been a while for Zpocalypse, and we've done other games. Well, I just remembered what you were talking about. I think you're talking about Artistic Justice's games, like Dragon Tides and the Fairy Tale games, so that's in conjunction with us, Artistic Justice's games. Yes. But yes, okay, so Zpocalypse, it's been a while. And
2.5 years, I think.
2.5 years, and we love Zpocalypse because that was what started us on it, but we had played it, and we've played it, and we've played it, and played it some more, and we've gotten to the point where we're like, okay, so how can we make it better? And there are a couple things that people have talked about that have also influenced us on what they think could make it better, and one of the things was PvP rules.
Oh.
So we've been working on that.
Whoa.
Yep. So, but we also have a concern that we don't want it to just be a 5-minute game where everybody just kills themselves and it's over. So how do you keep the balance? And one of the things is to work into it, people talking about how they would like a more variety of choice of what they get to do. So instead of having 4 phases, the phase where you feed and fortify, the phase where you scavenge, and those are predetermined of things that you do. We're making it so that however many survivors you have, you will get to choose what to do. So you may put all your people towards building, or you may send one person out to scavenge, and one person to build, and one person is resting, and that person gets restored up to full health. But everybody else is working at whatever they had during the last combat. So there's going to be a lot more of that kind of variety of choice. The same kinds of things that you got to do, which made it a much fuller, not just the combat, but all the different things, but you're allocating your people as your resources to determine what you do in the world.
Oh, so you're adding another level of resource management.
Another level of resource management, and then of course combat is still devastating and painful and brutal, and I love it. But even at that, you now are going to have another layer of texturing where you might be fighting the zombies, or you might be fighting your neighbor. And because it's about neighbors, it will be set in the suburbs. So you fled the city, and
new tiles.
Oh yeah, new tiles. Yep.
So it's gonna be another box set.
Yes, this is going to be a standalone game. This is not an expansion. This is Zpocalypse, the sequel.
Notice, not part 2 or 2.0.
I'm a writer.
I like the sequel. I like it. Now, you can get a little bit corny and make it movie-ish.
We haven't actually agreed on the name yet, but I like the sequel, so I'm putting it out there.
Comment, people, comment. And then, well, let's talk about what's next in your works.
In the works. Well, we've been working with some really talented designers on doing a folklore game. They had started a Kickstarter themselves, but they weren't happy.
I know who it is.
You do?
I bet.
Okay. Well, so
Folkllore the Affliction.
yes, Folklore the Affliction, and they had some dedicated followers, but they weren't happy with the production as it was going, so they stopped it, and were talking to us about it, and so we've been working with them on making sure that the game is a complete and total game before we send it out. What I really love is, as a writer, is they have some really great storyline texturing to it. And what they're trying to do is take that kind of D&D campaign and put it into a board game format. And the other great part about it is we do minis.
I think I met
we
them
do
here.
minis.
I met them here last year, and I'm like, you might want to talk with Greenbrier.
Well, thank you then, because they did, and that worked out. Well, we'll see. It should work out. I'm hoping. I'm very hopeful that it'll work out.
I think we have a very good relationship, the Twin Fire and I. It is Twin Fire, right?
Yes.
There's a lot of fires in the gaming industry now, so I might have got that wrong. But yeah, I was very pleased with their game last year when I had it.
Yeah.
I didn't actually have it yet, but I got to film it and play with it and do things. I was very happy. So I'm excited, really excited now to see how it's going to come to fruition and what changes might happen, because I don't think they needed a lot of tweaks game-wise.
Yeah.
I think component-wise they may have been unhappy with some stuff.
Well, but even with that, there's a lot of, they wanted the focus to be on the story. So talking about how do you make that a rich and new, but also an experience where you're not playing the same storyline
over and over.
So so that fine tuning is kind of what we try to do, and make sure that the game is as replayable as possible, but also making sure that it's as pretty, and like you said, the miniatures is something we love to do. So we did a Kickstarter that had some of the miniatures from the game that just finished and funded. It was a small campaign, just so that you could get it, so that we could see whether or not people really liked.
I missed that.
Oh yeah, it happened. It came and went. It wasn't a long one. It was it was just a miniatures run, because it wasn't a full game.
Like 7 days, 10 days. It wasn't a month.
It wasn't a month.
I totally missed that campaign.
I don't remember exactly how long it was, so to be honest.
I'm gonna have to go find it now.
Yeah.
Because I want to see the minis.
They're good. They're good. Well,
I
they're
know.
good stuff.
I know what you guys make. So, all right. I was wondering where they went with that, because I knew they pulled it, and I'm glad. I'm glad that it's still in the works.
We were glad too, because it was a great, got really excited when they wanted to work with us.
Well, last year they were here.
Huge opportunity.
They were here last year demoing it, and I walked up to them and I said, "Hey, you guys need a video, blah blah blah," and we just started talking. We had, I think we still have a great relationship, and I made some suggestions, and I think they appreciated it.
Well, what's really fun is, which is something that I hope that we try to do really well too, is we try to listen to, and you can't incorporate every suggestion that anybody ever gives
Right.
you, but I feel like there's so much in this industry that you have to listen, because if you don't, you're not going to hear what has already been done. You're not going to hear. You might not get that great idea. So you have to at least listen and hear what people say. And if people are repeating the same thing over and over,
You might not remember who said it.
right. You might not remember who said it, but if somebody is saying, what would be really great, you got to take that under advisement at least.
I think it's a good partnership too. I mean, you guys, I've seen a lot of the things you guys have done, and that for their first board game, tabletop style game, I think is really a great starting point.
And that's what they're doing as well. They're very good, and they're really excited about hearing new ideas and thinking about them and playing with it and making it a fun thing, which is always awesome, because games, playing,
Fun.
That's
awesome. I'm glad to hear it. So, I don't even know if I want to go to anything after that. But anyway, what's after that?
I don't know about, okay, so I'm not going to get any
might not
past
be
after that. I have other things that we've talked about. I don't have the authority to say anything else about the after that, I don't think.
So what else do you want to share? Well,
Okay, so yes, Heavy Steam just came out. We just, it's all shiny and new and has that
Pretty.
new game smell. So that's at the booth, and we've been playing testing it for the first, I think, demoing it first time, which is pretty fantastic. And of course, Yashima is being play tested because it will be showing up in the next 2 months, so it's being made. And
Oh, so it's still, the rules are still in development.
for
Yashima.
no,
Then it's being demoed. Okay.
it's being demoed, but
You said play tested, and I'm like,
Oh, no,
really?
it's being demoed.
I definitely want in on
Sorry.
that.
no, it's being demoed. But it should be here in the next couple months, and same with Kage Masters. So that's should be here in the next couple months, which is really frustrating that it's not here right now, but
Oh,
I know, I feel the same way. But yeah, that's what we got going, and then yes, after that,
Other
there's
things.
there's an institution game where you might be trying to flee it from a variety of ways that you may or may not have complete control over your own character. Other players may get to help you decide what you do.
So, backstabbing cooperative game.
We're really good at them. It's what we do.
You guys are good.
Semi-co-op. Semi-co-op.
That's
That's our
not,
thing.
no, that's not semi-co-op. Not from what you just said.
No, it is because if everybody doesn't get out, then it hurts.
Next cover.
Yeah.
You need one of the Zpocalypse people, like taking a knife and stabbing the guy in the leg as they're running from the zombies for the cover.
You know what? The cover is still under advisement, so I will. If anybody else has any suggestions of what the cover should be, setting is the suburbs.
That would be a great cover.
One other thing that we are playing with is that it is, so we had the bunker, so you went underground. At this point now, you have the second floor, and you're doing things like jumping out the window and landing on the ground to take off. So that instead of just a crow's nest or building it, you
Ow.
are up on the second floor instead of in the bunker. So a few mechanics changes to that because you can't go underground and go through the tunnels and networks. It's more you're climbing the roof and hoping you don't fall off. So
That's a good addition.
So think going up instead of going underground.
I think it's easier to go underground.
Think about your neighbor maybe bringing you a cup of sugar or maybe a cup of arsenic.
Cup of arsenic, that's all good. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I guess this is nagging me now. So Folkllore the Affliction. I always do that.
Affliction?
Yes, affliction. Oh my gosh, I'm so terrible since I lost all my teeth. Too much kickboxing.
Okay.
You're going to kickstart that as well, as a team?
Correct.
And is there a guesstimate as to when?
Soon. As soon as we are happy with making sure that it is,
So maybe as early as Gen Con.
that is our hope. Yes.
Well, that's pretty awesome, actually.
Yes.
That's really cool. All right, anything else?
I think we're good. Are you good?
Well, yeah, I'm good.
All right.
I'm good.
I'm good too.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, likewise.